Hello and welcome to this O&DR Modurol video, XKR Japanese Body Kit, and a very unusual and rare one at that. This is video 169 in our series of XK8 videos, and this video came about from a message from a fellow XK8 XKR enthusiast, Stephen Degenkob. Sorry if that's wrong pronunciation, Stephen. And he pointed out this car was for sale on Facebook, albeit listed as a Jaguar E-Pace. When you open up the advert within Facebook Marketplace, it's listed as a fresh Japanese import, fully UK registered. It's a 2005 Jaguar XKR 4.2 supercharged with 400 bhp, 35,000 miles. Now that sounds a bit of a bargain, and it's retailing, I think it's just under £15,000, and it's for sale in Birmingham in the UK. But what highlighted to us is this very unusual body kit, and in particular, it's very unusual front bumper. There's a lot of kits out there for the XKR X100, but this is one that we haven't seen before on the channel. If you have, and you know the actual manufacturers, please let us know, but we'll just take a quick look at it and the car through this video. Now, the front bumper and the front wings, or the fenders, look wider than the OEM bumper. You can see it's just flared out a little bit wider, and you've got that vent in the rear quarter of the fender there. Now, these combine to make it very similar to an Aston Martin front end, particularly with that little vent on the fender there. It doesn't have the Aston Martin front grille. It's not an AML look-alike, but it does have that sort of style about it, the large front grille. Now, the near side front bumper is cracked. It looks like somebody's had a little tap at the front there, but it can easily be addressed with a bit of a repair and a bit of paint. Interestingly, you can see there's quite a good quality stainless grille at the front, upper and lower, and what looks like the reposition of the fog light, and possibly above it a daytime running light, which is probably an additional feature. Unfortunately, it looks like they've lost the headlight wash wipe cover, but that's quite common to lose, to be honest, and a real candidate for 3D printing, I would think. Also, the bonnet vent it needs a bit of repainting. It shows signs of peeling there. And there are more paint issues on the rear bumper, and a bit of paint bubbling on the offside rear quarter, or possibly again another little tap or a bit of rubbing from the aftermarket rear bumper. It does sit on some really nice 20-inch alloy wheels, which I believe are PIAA alloy wheels. It's actually a Japanese brand alloy wheel, and they look really smart. I love 5-spoke alloy wheels, and these don't look out of place on this car, particularly with that silver paint, or it's a dark grey metallic. I'm not sure what colour that is, but it's a nice looking wheel on that car. As I say, 5-spoke split rim alloys, plus obviously the Brembo brakes, which is standard with the XKR from 2003 onwards. What you can see is that what's unusual as well, a lot of the aftermarket sill covers don't have this unusual raised bead in the middle. I'm not sure if that's strengthening or styling. It's quite unusual to have that on the sill covers. So another sort of unusual feature. What you can see as well is the sill cover. If you look at the profile there, it curves out to the front and the rear. I'm pretty sure the front wings are flare out or aftermarket, but the rear looks fairly standard, I would have thought. It doesn't look particularly flared out as we've seen in other body kits. But there you go. The lower part of the sill is definitely flared out a little bit to accentuate the rear quarters. It has a very unusual rear bumper, albeit it's very subtle styling there. As I say, the sill cover curves in and out of the rear. Sorry, I've done that. It does have quad rear pipes, which again is sort of standard for circa 2005 cars, and looks like in the moulding of the sort of the rear part of the bumper, the lower part of the bumper there, is a central fog and a reflector mounting point, which doesn't seem to have anything mounted on at the minute, but that would look pretty good with a small red reflector, or even a reversing light in there. Inside, it's a standard black sports interior, but it does have the upgraded Recaro black sport leather seats, which do look the business, absolute spot on, and also that carries through to the rear as it should. So you've got a really nice modified but still elegant. I think elegant is a great word for this guy. It looks really elegant, sort of Aston Martin'ish, but still retains the lovely styling of the Jaguar XK8, XKR X100. Now, I say it's a very late high-spec car, being it's a 2005 car. So it's got all the problems sorted. It's got the 4.2 litre engine. It's much more reliable than the earlier ones. And it's a pretty good buy, I would have thought this. Being an import as well, fresh import from Japan, it's going to be relatively rust-free. And it is extremely low mileage, as most Japanese cars are. So this is going to be a bargain for somebody if they like body kits, as I do. It can be found on Facebook. I'll put a link to the Facebook listing, but it's also it's actually for sale with Camwell Cars in Sutton Coldfield, Birmingham, and I'll put a link in the description to their website and this particular advert. There you go. Thanks to Stephen for the link to this car. You know I like these unusual XK cars. If you find anything like that as you're roaming around the internet, please send us a message. And thanks to Camwell Cars for importing it. What a lovely car. And thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more XK8 videos.